Hey, welcome back to another Worship Leader Wednesday. You're hanging out with Brian.
And Brian.
What's up, guys? Here at Worship Tutorials. Today we're talking about how to develop your personal theme for the weekend. Fuller, are we going to make up our own intro jingle?
Yeah, dude.
Hit me.
Worship Leader Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and I'm a worship leader.
Okay, so we're talking personal theme for the weekend. First of all, what is a personal theme? Why is it important to have a personal theme for the weekend? And I'll say this. When Fuller and I met over breakfast the other day, and we were talking about this idea, it really resonated with me in my heart. Like, this is important, and this is going to help you really come into Sunday with vision and preparation. So tell us, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so often we just put a bunch of songs together and we try to get through Sunday and we leave with kind of like without a sense of like everything coming together. So to me, a personal theme is something that you in your heart, you're the worship leader, so you're kind of steering the ship, but maybe one thought, one idea about who God is that you can just filter all of what you do for the weekend, whether it's the way you talk to the team, the way you deliver the songs, but this one central theme in your mind and your heart that you're just dwelling on, that you're just thinking about as you're processing the weekend and you're asking God to kind of show up.
So we're going to use actually a song to illustrate this, and the first point is actually to go through all of your songs.
Yeah, so look at what I like to do is if you're doing 4 songs, just print up the lyrics, grab the lyrics or go online and grab them and just look through them. You know, it's different than listening to the song because we get caught up in the music, but just look at what the song is saying and you'll start to notice maybe some underlying themes or maybe something that the Holy Spirit's just putting on your heart. For example, you're doing the song The Lion and the Lamb, and you know you're thinking about the lion and the lamb, but then you get to the bridge and it says, "Who can stop the Lord Almighty?" And then suddenly you start, man, as a Christian, man, that's a powerful, man, who can stop God? No matter what happens in our culture, no matter what's going on around me, no one can stop God. So now what you're really focusing on is God's power. So my personal theme for this weekend is God's power. Everything I do, I'm going to kind of filter through the lens of God's power.
For our rehearsal time, we always have like maybe 10 or 15 minutes where a worship leader or one of the leadership in our church leads a devotional with our team. And that theme can inform that devotional.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
set the tone for the whole team.
You know, they're like everybody else. They're busy. They're showing up. They got a lot on their mind. But then suddenly they're like, hey, let's focus on God's power this weekend. Have you ever thought about the line, "Who can stop the Lord Almighty?" And now suddenly we're all kind of in this place together. Instead of a bunch of random people with their own thoughts, we're all kind of in the same accord, this unity. And as we're doing that song, we're all thinking about God's power. Maybe it's reminding us of something God did earlier in the week.
Another thing that this can really help you with is what you say before you sing a song or how you set it up. We call it spiritual direction, where we set aside 15 to 20 to 30 to 45 seconds in a worship service where we as worship leaders can speak to our congregation. And if we're setting up this song, Lion and the Lamb, how many times have you done a song and you say, we're going to sing a song about God who is or about Jesus who is the Lion and the Lamb. Sing it with us. And you
this song is called The Lion and the Lamb.
Yeah.
Let's sing it together.
And you know, that's one way you can do it.
If it's a
better way.
Kids television show.
Yeah. But if you set that song up by saying, we're going to sing a song about the power of God.
Yeah.
And Fuller just talked about a personal story. Maybe there's an illustration in your life about where God's power was on display or something you're expecting God to do. If you can share that and personalize it and say, we're going to get to this point in the song where we're going to declare who can stop the Lord Almighty, that will pull people into worship. That will cause people to really engage in that moment. And it's far better than just repeating the title of the song or something like that. So this personal theme can inform everything you do this week when it comes to your leadership.
It could even be something as simple as, hey, maybe you today, you're talking to the congregation, maybe there's somebody in here who needs God to show up. When we get to this part of the song, you make that your prayer. And then they're going to remember that. And when they get to that part, who can stop the Lord Almighty, that's going to empower them. And that's when the Spirit you really start to feel what the Spirit is doing in that place.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us on another Worship Leader Wednesday. Hey, if you're a worship leader and you have questions, let us know in the comments below. We want this to be interactive, and we're going to be here with you hanging out every single Wednesday. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now would be a good time. There's going to be a link up here or over here or down there somewhere. Subscribe to us. We'll see you next time. Bye.